The first time I saw her smile, I thought it meant love. But that smile? It was the first sign of a storm I never saw coming. She was my stepmother, and she hated everything about my happiness. If you've ever stayed quiet while someone tried to break you, this story is for you. Hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready for one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll hear today. I never really had a mother. I was adopted when I was just 6, and while my father did everything he could, it wasn't the same. When he remarried years later, I wanted to believe life would finally give me a mother figure. Someone warm, someone kind, but instead I got her. She came into our lives quietly, too quietly actually. Graceful, composed, polished. She looked perfect from the outside. But something in her eyes, something cold, always made me feel like I was being watched, judged. I was 17 when they married. She didn't like hugs, didn't talk much, and when she did, it felt rehearsed. But I was desperate for connection, so I tried. I really tried. Years passed. I got married at 26. A man who loved me for who I was, simple, hopeful, trying my best. We weren't rich, but we were content. We had a small apartment, mismatched furniture, and dreams we stitched together night after night. Then I got pregnant, and something inside my stepmother snapped. First it was small. She looks tired, she told my father behind my back. She doesn't know how to care for herself. How will she care for a child? She's not like real mothers. Not like real mothers. I heard that sentence enough to feel it burn. My son was born. A beautiful boy. Healthy. Glowing. Everything I wasn't, she would say. She'd hold him like a china doll but never smile. Never connect. Just stare. Like she was trying to figure out how he belonged to me and not to her. Then she began interfering. She'd call my husband in private. Suggest better schools, better investments, better decisions. Always excluding me. She'd show up uninvited, criticizing our parenting, our furniture, our food. She's making your life harder, she once told him. Imagine hearing that from your stepmother about yourself. But it didn't stop at words. No, that would have been merciful. She started gifting money to my husband's side of the family. Silent bribes in elegant envelopes. Money for their home renovations, for family events, while I struggled to afford diapers. She took my joy and twisted it. I tried to speak to my father. He brushed it off. She just wants to help, he said. But her help came with strings. Strings that tied me in knots and pulled tighter every time I tried to breathe. When my son turned 4, I noticed something heartbreaking. He was afraid of her. He'd grip my hand when she walked into the room. He'd whisper, "Mama." She looks at me weird. Even he could feel it. That was my breaking point. But I didn't lash out. I didn't scream. I didn't expose her. I chose something stronger: patience. I began to document every slight, every manipulation, every backhanded gift, every lie. Quietly, meticulously. I stopped letting her see me struggle. I stopped showing pain. I let her believe she was winning. Then came the house. My husband and I saved every rupee, every coin. We finally bought a small house in the outskirts. It wasn't huge, but it was ours. The moment she found out, she offered to invest in the renovation. We declined. 2 weeks later, a rumor spread through the family that we were hiding money and ungrateful. Guess who started it? Then it happened. The final blow, or so she thought. My father passed away. Quietly, unexpectedly. And suddenly everything in his will was hers. Not because he didn't love me, but because she manipulated him into rewriting it during his last illness. She kept me away, told him I was busy, told me he needed rest. I never got to say goodbye. She inherited everything: money, car, house, land. She didn't offer me a thing. Not a book. Not a keepsake. Nothing. But you know what? I didn't need her money. I didn't need her things. Because I had something she would never have: love. Years passed. My marriage grew stronger. My son thrived. He made drawings and put them on our fridge. Every hug, every bedtime story, every silly dance in the living room became our little rebellion against the hate she once planted. And then karma. I heard through a distant cousin that she had been hospitalized. Alone. No children. No real family. The money she held so tightly had become her prison. She didn't even know who to call. And no one called her. Not even me. You see, sometimes revenge isn't loud. It's not about confrontation. It's not a slap or a scream. Sometimes revenge is surviving, thriving, becoming everything they said you couldn't, and watching from a distance as their empire of manipulation collapses into silence. She told the world I was weak. I became unbreakable. She tried to steal my family. I built it stronger. She hoarded everything she thought would buy her love. But love can't be bought. It's built with patience. And the best part? My son still draws pictures of our little family. And in none of them is she included. I learned that not all family is blood. And not all mothers are kind. But if you stay patient, if you choose peace over war, and truth over drama, life will reward you louder than any revenge ever could. If this story touched your heart or reminded you of someone in your life, hit that like button and subscribe for more real stories where justice doesn't scream. It whispers. And trust me, those whispers echo forever.